Accessing.
When TV and radio collide.
Love it.
Wow. This is what you get. You're listening to JJ and Alex.
Don't touch that dial.
On 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
You always got to let the Belle Biv DeVoe burn a little bit. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Got to
yeah.
hear some of it. Okay?
Timeless.
This truck is about from that time frame. Belle Biv DeVoe, kind of a late 80s, early 90s.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. That fits.
I'm telling you.
Come down and see it at John Watson's Chevrolet. It's beautiful.
We're hanging out. The beautiful
and
classic
the Chevy
cars.
Camaros from the 1960s.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Got a Z28 right here.
They set it up really awesome for these kids tonight who are going to be honored as the John Watson Chevrolet Players of the Week. And for Northern Utah, it's going to be awesome. And KSL Sports, we lean into this thing, man. We love being able to honor these kids every week during the season. Jake Hatz does a phenomenal job busting his butt, making sure he's got his finger on the pulse of how great these prep athletes are. And
you combine the force of all our KSL Sports properties, KSL Sports Rewind, what Jake does with this, and what we do with Game Night Live. Nobody covers sports better.
Nobody better. So let's kick off the program here, JJ. I'm staring at the not only are these beautiful cars here, I've also got the full-on bracket, the college football playoff bracket. Let's get into how this thing actually could go and the breakdowns of these teams who did make it into the college football playoff. Let's jump in here with the cut.
It's time for the biggest story of the day. This is what made the cut with JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
College football playoff. We've got our bracket. We've seen it. You've been able to go over it. You've been able to critique it maybe. And these college football playoffs are. This is only the second year of the 12-team playoff, and it already is unacceptable. Because I heard Hant say something earlier, and it's something I totally 100% agree with, which is, you can argue about the Miami, Notre Dame, BYU, but what are we doing with Tulane and James Madison getting in? They did the rules. I get it. I'm just saying, why are we doing this? Because it's not just that those teams. I know I want to give teams shots.
Who's we? Do you know who to blame? The ACC. And why Miami got in, and why Notre Dame was even considered when you know how bad the ACC was this year. The ACC was so bad this year that the best they could do for a champion was 8-5 Duke.
Oh, yeah.
That's your champion.
Yeah.
The people's champion, the Duke Blue Devils at 8-5. That's the best team in your conference.
I love how we joked about it happening. Why on earth
this almost happened last year.
I know,
remember?
But why on earth would I believe that UVA was a guaranteed win against Duke? It's just it's not. And by the way, we were talking about teams and when they've won championships and when they haven't. Duke has existed. They've played football since 1899 and they've never won one conference championship.
That's insane.
I mean,
the drought is over.
Hey, no, was it? No. It was a team they played, Virginia.
Oh,
Virginia. So they're still locked out.
Yeah, the Who's have never been great at football either. 126
years of Virginia football has not gotten
the ACC was so bad this year that their champion was ranked lower than James Madison in the college football playoff.
And I know that actually is the only thing that matters, because when they made the rules, they're trying to figure out how to make this thing. I don't know, but if the word equitable gets brought up, equity is not being equal and on an equal, like, hey, here's how you made it and here's how we made it. That is not what happened here. And by the way, you're not seeing teams that are evenly matched with the teams that are in the college football playoff. James Madison going up to Oregon, I think is really
must-see TV.
It's really sad because of who could have been playing up at Oregon. BYU fans could say, yeah, maybe that's them. But I mean, even Notre Dame having to go up to Autzen Stadium, like, Notre Dame is a way better football team than Tulane and JMU,
and would do far better.
Okay,
and
so
better theater.
Okay,
better TV.
So then, what are we doing? And I'm not trying to poo-poo the G5s out there, but I do wonder.
You've got to. I think we need to go 16. I think that solves the problem. Again,
I think you got to do more.
This is the ACC's fault for sucking this year. B,
it's true.
The whole point of this was inclusion from the very get-go, is to give everybody in the country a path. It just so happened that the ACC allowed the Sun Belt to be better than them this year. The Sun Belt champion is better than the ACC champion. Let that sink in.
Yeah, I get
it. And the ACC wants to call itself a Power 4 conference. Well, and a team from the ACC got in ahead of Notre Dame and BYU.
Right, and they're legitimately.
And Notre Dame's basically playing an ACC schedule, which is why they were 10-2.
Yeah, they were the best team in the ACC. Miami, I think we all know that.
Yes,
but they didn't make the conference championship game. And I get it. You've got to do the thing to be able to get in. But when you talk about the snubs that are out there, I think that the college football playoff bracket kind of shows you that, it's a little bit weird. It's a little bit weird to have James Madison and Tulane playing in this thing. When we were fighting over some of the biggest brands in all of college football getting into this thing, you just have these other teams who are just automatic and they get right in, and that they did exactly what they were asked to do. But I do think that is going to get revisited when they do the 16-team playoff. Like, how on earth can we avoid getting way more G5 teams in that you don't want to get in?
I think it will be addressed. You have to have a G5. But you're right. I don't think it was ever designed for 2. And this was actually not a great year for the G5s.
No. The Mountain West was not good this year.
It wasn't.
Here locally, we were like,
it was mediocre for a year. I mean, Boise State wasn't their normal selves. And that league obviously is going to go through a big change, and now the Pac-12 is going to have a look. We'll see what that's like. Tulane was 10-2. I don't think anybody is like, oh wow, I can't wait to see Tulane against one of the big shots. They played Ole Miss and lost, right?
Yeah, Tulane and North Carolina, and
we've already seen Tulane and Ole Miss, right?
I know, and that's a tough thing because they're going to have to play one another.
This is not a year. This is not the year where even one G5 is worthy of being in the playoff, let alone 2, and. It sucks because it's at the expense of some really good
Shame
teams.
on all of you other guys who couldn't win your dadgum football games. So, James Madison going up to Autzen. Upset alert?
No.
For you? Okay.
No chance.
Speaking of rematches, the 8-9 game is Alabama traveling to Norman, Oklahoma, where they played. No, I guess they were in Tuscaloosa, right?
Trying to remember.
No, I think – no. Well, either way. They played them 3 weeks ago, and they beat them.
Yeah.
Right? That's one of the 3 losses.
They went into Tuscaloosa and won.
It was in Tuscaloosa. Hey, that's a pretty good win for them. So they're going to host Alabama in Norman, and then Ole Miss and Tulane is another rematch from earlier this season. Your 11-6 game.
What are we doing?
I don't know, and it makes me a little bit frustrated. So Tulane taking on Ole Miss, Jake Retzlaff and company. Can they go in? I mean, Ole Miss. If there's going to be an upset alert, you kind of put it on Ole Miss because they might be a dadgum mess considering that their entire staff got blown up and it's weird, and they're having the offensive coordinator come back to call the games like as a temporary fix, and Lane Kiffin's being accused of all sorts of things in LSU. So I'm wondering if you should look at that and go, I don't know, take the points.
Is that the one team that's ripe for an upset?
Would it be the most Jake Retzlaff thing ever? Him running off the field?
Here's the thing. Here's the truth.
It's wild.
What was the score of the first game?
It was a blowout. I think it was like like a 3 or 4 touchdown.
45-10.
Okay.
Trinidad Chambliss had a great game. He played in that game, 307 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was their leading rusher.
45-10, holy cow.
Retzlaff went 5 of 17 in that game.
Yeah, he's pretty good. 56 yards passing, not bad.
So, and this is my point, this is just not the year for the G5s to make a splash in the playoff. Ole Miss is going to cream them. Everything you said is true. I don't know how this Ole Miss team's going to respond to all the drama, the Lane Kiffin stuff, but
from a talent perspective, it just
they're going to overwhelm Tulane,
so
just like they did earlier. We've already seen this movie before.
Yeah. Well, let's pretend just for a moment.
Can we pretend that Ole Miss was playing BYU?
Well, yeah, no,
that would be more fun.
I'm not kidding. Think about like Utah sneaking in, okay, as the 12th seed.
Yeah.
They can make the argument they should be there because they just kept dropping even though they kept winning. they were up to 12 or 13, right? And
they weren't winning enough. They weren't winning by far enough.
But let's just say, for sake of argument, Oregon hosting Utah. Like, that's tasty. You know why?
That's got a lot of history to it and a lot of flavor. I think a lot of people around the country would be interested in that.
Yeah, and guess what? Look at Tulane and Ole Miss. Actually was at that game in Oxford back when Kyle Van Noy took that thing over. What did they win? 16 to
Those are their first game as an independent. Yeah.
17-16? They go down there to Oxford. Quite an experience. Awesome. Tons of fun.
Hotty toddy.
But could BYU beat Ole Miss?
Yes. 100%.
Could Utah beat Oregon?
Yes.
They could show up, right?
They could
absolutely.
Oh, well, I mean, the defense we saw the last couple of weeks makes me pause, but the offense is good enough.
Do they have a better shot of beating Ole Miss, BYU than Tulane?
100%.
Does Utah have a better chance than JMU? All respect to the Dukes.
100%.
But you see what I'm saying? See, that's when you look at it and you go, oh, well, if you look at it from that perspective, the system's broken because the best teams aren't playing in this thing, right?
Right.
And teams who you look at and you go, they might deserve to be in there. So, first of all, the Indiana being pushed up to number 1 is wild to look at. Like, if you were to put this bracket up at the beginning of the year, this would have looked like a fever dream that my kid would have put together. I think who's the purple team? I'll put them in.
I love the top 4. The top 4 is fun.
Top 4, this is as good a football as we've seen. You know what I mean? Like, those guys are playing at an elite level.
I hate to say it, but this would be a really good year for a 14 playoff.
Oh, yeah.
In all honesty.
If we could have just –
if I'm being really,
you know
really
what?
honest.
It would have saved a lot of tears over the weekend.
Isn't there a big separation between 4 and 5?
Oh, for sure. Yes, that's a great point, JJ, because I think Texas Tech is markedly better than Oregon.
Indiana went in and handled Oregon at Autzen.
Just think about the discrepancy of Georgia versus Tulane.
Right.
Or Indiana or Texas Tech playing JMU. Or Ohio State meeting up with Tulane. You know what I mean? Like that, it's an insane thought to have these teams lining up. So you're exactly right.
What's Ohio State going to do to Miami? What would they do to Miami?
That's interesting. I can't imagine Miami beating Texas A&M, but just because the universe is this way, you're going to see the teams that we bicker about that shouldn't be in, they're going to win their first game. I think Miami could beat Texas A&M. Why not? And Alabama could definitely beat Oklahoma. You know why? Because what did Ty Simpson say? We know we are the best offense in the country. I couldn't say it with a straight face. After the game, he said it to the just absolutely.
We've already seen Alabama, Oklahoma. Why are we seeing this again?
Okay, but what I'm saying is
committee, man.
You're going to see one of the teams that we argued that they shouldn't have been anywhere near the playoff. They're going to win their first round game. Alabama or Miami, one of those teams is going to win. And we're going to go, and then they're going to be like, told you, we should have been in, and it's going to be annoying. It's going to be the worst. It'll be another like rehashing and pulling the scab off and having to figure that thing out.
Miami got a gift. Texas A&M is probably the most phony team in the top 10.
And I think there's also – isn't it funny that after they lost that game against Texas, nobody is even thinking about those guys because they didn't go to the SEC
Well, why didn't they get hammered? Why didn't they get more – they got dropped a little bit from 3 to 7.
7, yeah.
By the way, they're pre-Big 12 championship game. BYU and Texas A&M's resume look awful similar.
Yeah, real close to one another. Look at that top 4. Any chance that the bye week that they get ends up being them kind of slumbering a little bit and then they come out slow and don't win a game in the second round?
I don't see an Ohio State or a Penn State or a Notre Dame in that first round group.
I actually think it's
I don't see teams that good in that first round group. I think the top 4 are really, really solid. And I don't see a team in the first round that's capable of going to a bowl game and beating those guys.
I think it was actually better for Ohio State's national championship repeat.
Oh, I agree.
For them losing against Indiana. Because a rematch is pending, right? That's what we're looking at in the bracket. You're looking at the possibility of Indiana winning their 2 games and getting to the national championship to rematch against Ohio State. Now, that's a rematch I'm okay to watch. You know why? Because it was a freaking bloodbath the other night.
Right.
Punching each other in the face and getting it going, man. I loved how intense that game was.
It was a low-scoring game, but a good football game.
No, you know what? It felt just old school. Yeah. Like we've seen Ohio State have games like that. You've seen them have.
You're going to have championship games like that.
And it's crazy to me to see Indiana being physical. Like that was just never their signature.
Matching up with that defense.
Their offense and defensive lines are friggin' tough.
That Ohio State defense is so good, and Indiana held their own.
Yeah, and Mendoza put the ball on the friggin' money. So many times
probably
that game.
Won himself a trophy.
Do you think that happened?
Probably won himself a trophy on Saturday.
Did you have to get your vote in today?
Oh, the deadline was today. I finished voting on Sunday.
Okay, so you can't share your vote.
Cannot say a word until after Sunday.
And that's
or Saturday.
Yeah, on Saturday we're going to get the reveal. And you only get 3 votes, right? You just do
vote
top
for
3.
your top 3 in order, first, second, and third, and that's how they tabulate it.
Okay.
I will share my Heisman ballot a week from today.
Love it. I just think it's fascinating to see these this Heisman season's crazy. Again, part of the fever dream. And then Mendoza's going to win the Heisman. You remember the old Cal transfer? Yeah, he's going to win the Heisman. The guy who committed to Harvard first and then ended up going to Cal.
Pretty crazy
and
story,
then transferring
right?
from Cal to Indiana. Yeah, he's going to be the Heisman Trophy winner.
Pretty improbable.
That's crazy.
Well, and there's then another candidate is somebody who was playing at New Mexico Military Institute.
There's always somebody.
Before he ended up at New Mexico State, right? The Diego Pavia story is also pretty wild.
You know what?
And you
Vanderbilt
gotta be honest. Like, there's some pretty crazy, wild college football stories right now. How about Trinidad Chambliss?
Yeah,
who was a Division II quarterback now.
Yep.
Now in the playoff.
That's a very Cam Ward type of a vibe. You know, where he's 0 stars,
100%.
Goes to immaculate word, and then suddenly blows up the entire world. It's crazy. So, anyway, part of the issue that we've seen with all of this is we've seen a lot of the brackets that are that people are kind of putting together, and they're trying to find a path for upsets. And this one doesn't really lend to a lot of upsets.
Doesn't feel like last year, right?
Yeah.
And I think what happened, remember last year what happened was the champions got put in the top 4. And it was Arizona State and Boise State and Oregon. And the best teams were actually in that first-round group because they didn't play – Notre Dame didn't play in a conference championship game last year. Neither did Ohio State. And it worked out the way it did. It's just a different bracket this year. It's a different bracket. And that's fine. I think it's top-heavy. I think the top 4 are going to be tough to beat. But what it could end up being is an outstanding semifinal and a national championship game for the ages if it works out. And I think don't be surprised if Texas Tech's in that championship game.
I just want to be.
That team is really good. I don't know how a team beats them. Arizona State did it, but there were weird circumstances behind that game. What team in that field right now has the ability to throw downfield, run the ball effectively, and win in the trenches? Who is it? Is it? I mean, other than Ohio State, I believe Ohio State can do it, and we saw maybe Indiana can do it.
Right.
Is Georgia? I mean, you think the talent's there, but Georgia's been, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like Georgia's been overwhelming this year. Just ask Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech had them. Georgia Tech played them better than Alabama did the second time
for
around.
Sure. Yeah.
Georgia's had some weird games this year.
Later, we're going to talk about the bowl matchups here locally with the teams getting their invites officially. And none of the programs rejected their invitation. I thought that was nice.
Yeah, classy. How many Big 12 teams said no thanks?
2. Iowa State, Kansas State.
And Baylor had a chance to go play in the Birmingham Bowl as a 5-7 team.
Oh, did they say no?
As well, they said
well, but the 5-7 thing, like that, to me, when a team opts out of that, like, because I don't think they're not going to get fined $500,000.
No, the other
teams are going to get fined $500,000. When you're a 5-7 team and you get this like little back door into a crap bowl, I mean,
we now have winning teams opting out of bowl games. Bowl games are on life support. I'm telling you. This is a growing trend.
It is hard. It is hard to try to figure out which ones matter, and it really just feels like the college football playoff. We'll take a break. We'll come back. More to go right here from the John Watson Chevrolet here in Ogden. Stay here, 97.5 BKSL Sports Zone.
All the latest news and notes from the league and the locals in the NFL. JJ and Alex bring you the NFL Blitz on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right, everybody, welcome back. JJ and Alex, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Thanks for being with us on the program. That music, of course, means we're getting into our that portion of the show where we get to jump in on the locals in the NFL and the weeks that they had, and they had big ones. A lot of locals. I'm watching a lot of guys scoring points, catching balls, making big defensive plays, more than we've ever seen, I think, in a long, long time for those locals. But
it was a great Sunday for locals in the NFL.
Yeah, and
I think I counted 7 locals were part of a touchdown, whether they were the quarterback, running back, or the kickoff returner, or the receiver. It was a banner day.
Huge day. Let's talk about it right now. Before we do, though, you can nominate the youth sports volunteer that you know for the Hercules Hero of the Week program. All you have to do, go to KSLSports.com/contests. Nominate that person who's an awesome youth sports volunteer in your neighborhood, and then we help celebrate those efforts by giving them a prize from Hercules First Federal Credit Union and Beehive Meals, both of which are great sponsors of the Hercules Hero of the Week program. All right, let's start first. Listen, I'll start with my Seahawks.
Yeah, that's good.
How about Rashid Shaheed? Like, when that guy turns it on, there's not a soul. I don't know if there's a soul on the planet who could catch that guy.
I told you when the Seahawks acquired him, it was like, oh, that's a nice trade.
Yeah, and look, you want to use him as a wideout, but they have one of the best wideout. They have a first-team All-Pro guy this year in Smith Najigba.
And he had a good game. 4 catches, 67 yards.
And I'm telling you, they're going to be feeding Smith Najigba like the rest of the year because they want him. They want to prop him up, and I'm telling you, he's same thing. Those two guys, when they touch the ball, there's not a lot of people that could catch those two dudes out there in the football field. So shout out to my Seahawks, who are now 10-3 on the season. I mean, listen, shout out to Sam Darnold, who like reinvented himself.
Great story.
To do it in 2 different cities in 2 separate years.
I think the Vikings have regret.
Oh, 1,000%. J.J. McCarthy is absolute garbage.
He had a good game yesterday, but
no, he
won.
didn't. They had 0. They won. They beat the Commanders, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was 26-0?
McCarthy had a good game yesterday, 3 touchdowns.
I'll allow it. But has one of the worst QBRs of any living quarterback in the history of the NFL.
The Vikings are going to miss the playoffs this year because they let Sam Darnold walk. It's a fact.
It is, yeah. And a tough division, obviously. Dalton Kincaid, he caught a touchdown.
Yeah, back from injury, missed almost a month with the hamstring injury, and then first game back gets a nice touchdown catch, 4 catches, 41 yards. And Jackson Haas out of Highland High School.
A kid lived in my old neighborhood.
Yeah,
that's crazy. I tell the kids all the time.
At Yale, and then went to Georgia Tech, and now he's in the league.
Look what's going on here. That guy played at Highland High School. This guy went to the University of Utah. Like, point them all out.
Yeah.
You know, it's easy to do these days. It seems like every team's got
doing Snow Angels with Josh Allen in a big game. Pretty cool.
How did Devin Lloyd do? We're checking on Devin Lloyd, see if he's having a decent
interception of the year. I think it's tied for 3rd in the NFL. Isn't that crazy? He's having a Pro Bowl year.
Yeah, I think
he got hurt.
Might have an All-Pro year.
The problem is he got hurt.
Yeah.
And missed a couple games, which might hurt his cause, but when he's been healthy, he's played at a Pro Bowl level this year. He's definitely going to get paid.
Well, he'll get the Pro Bowl nod because that's fine. All-Pro is what I'm looking for, and I think he could be a second-team All-Pro guy. Like you're talking about him.
Good.
He is one of the top 5 linebackers in the league, right? Like
8
especially
tackles,
right now.
2 quarterback hits, and an interception, and the Jags win. The Jags are in first place.
And the Colts have fallen off the planet, and poor friggin' Daniel Jones, who we love talking about because he's a great story too. Torn Achilles again, dude.
3 losses in a row, I think.
3 losses in a row, and their playoff hopes are looking like the Chiefs.
They're on life support.
Hey, speaking of the Chiefs.
Ooh.
No, we'll get to that
We got
later.
to save that for the next segment.
We should. Because I want Lloyd to be around when I tell him about what getting keyed it looks like in the in week 15 of the NFL, because it was pretty hilarious.
Rusty looked like a sad puppy today in there when we looked in there.
He's like you got keyed. The energy not there. Energy not there. Puka Nacua, awesome day for him. Another couple touchdowns, 167 yards. He missed how many games? 2 or 3?
Yeah.
And he's averaging 100 yards receiving this year.
Still almost 1,300 yards
receiving. Yes, after missing those 2 games.
Pretty insane.
Awesome thing for him. And then Jordan Love, that guy, Toyota-thon comes around and he shows up.
Toyota-thon is real.
I'm believing it now. I'm like, seriously.
How can you not?
He
every year.
Tom Brady.
Toyota-thon begins, and all of a sudden Jordan Love's an MVP candidate.
So Tom Brady called that game. Tom Brady's like, what a throw.
Yeah.
If Tom Brady says what a throw.
Yeah, that's a compliment.
Let's grab that audio and play it as they lower your casket into the ground. You know what I mean? Like when your life is over, because that is as cool as it gets, man. It's just wild. Did you see the Zach Ertz play where he tore his ACL?
Yeah, I was watching it, and Mariota had to come off the bench cold. Jaden Daniels got hurt again.
I know, it's just freaking
And
terrible.
I watched that throw, and I've seen this story before. A quarterback throws high over the middle.
Hang a guy at the drive, but you don't. But listen,
I
those
feel for
DBs,
Mariota. He did not intend for that to happen, but that's what happened.
That's
You
a
go
bad
up
look.
to try to make a play, and where do the DBs try to tackle a tight
right
end?
at the knee.
You throw high to a tight end, and it's going to happen.
It looked disgusting. Torn ACL out the rest of the year.
rough.
There you go. So
Hate to see it.
it's a bummer, man. And
How about Shedeur Sanders?
what did he have? 365 on the day.
They didn't win the
3
game,
touchdowns?
but yeah, he had 4 touchdowns, one
4
on the ground.
touchdowns. I mean, that team is a mess.
If you
said
started
today,
Shedeur in fantasy football yesterday, you probably won.
how many people
Serious.
did that? Brant, did you start your Shadeur's not your
You
quarterback?
should have.
Yeah, that's a good pick. You just
made.
made friends with JJ right there.
Yeah.
That'll get you in. Hey, how about your Broncos 11-2?
How
Them
about
and
that?
the Patriots at the top of the dadgum
10
AFC.
straight wins, baby.
10 wins in a row. There's
Didn't
almost
cover
as
the
good
spread, though. We'll get to that in the next
Dude,
segment.
10 wins in a row, that's Notre Dame territory. You guys might be good enough. Might be good enough. All right? Let the Broncos into the playoffs. They deserve it. Hey, BYU's 11-2. Can they get into the AFC playoffs?
At this point,
No.
why not?
All right. Any other ones you want to add in the world of the NFL? I'm trying to think
Let's give Jalen Moore a shout-out. He had a touchdown on a screen pass from Aaron Rodgers. The Steelers look like they're going to win the AFC North. After watching them play like hot garbage last week.
after people were assigning
Steaming hot garbage.
I know. After everybody was assigning Mike Tomlin's
They were
name
seriously trying to run Mike
the-
Tomlin out of town.
to the Penn State job.
He's Mike
I think
freaking
he'd be-
Tomlin.
I
He's
think
the
he'd be great.
Godfather.
I think he'd be great at Penn State. You're like, really? the guy
Come
has,
on,
the
man.
guy has 20
It's Mike Tomlin.
winning seasons in a row.
Look
for
at all
the
the
Steelers.
clown coaches in the NFL. And you want to
Oh.
run Mike Tomlin out of
Come
town?
on.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
It is crazy. So the Chiefs, by the way, the dynasty's on life support, despite the fact that Chris Collinsworth. I mean, I'm listening to that game last night. Here's a guy. Now here's a guy because they. So the Texans are going down and driving
Patrick
down
Mahomes.
and about to score a touchdown, and they show Mahomes on the sideline because you just thrown a pick. That's what they do. They show. They go, hey, Travis Kelce, nice drop. I mean, they stayed on him for, I think, 12 minutes straight at the end of the game. Kelce was there
That
on
was
the
a
screen.
rough look for Travis Kelce.
And
last
he's
night.
1,000-yard stare, and he doesn't know a camera's on him, but he's doing the pretend like he's catching the ball. Did you see that?
Yeah.
It was weird. He was like miming like – I was like, dude, this guy's seen some stuff, man.
Yeah.
But they go to the
Ghosts.
sideline. They show Mahomes, and he's just watching his as the Texans are about to go down and score again, and they show him, and he goes, and there's Patrick Mahomes. And we're like, well, they're showing him because he threw an interception. One of the best to ever do it. He's probably thinking, all right, it's going to be one of those nights, huh? I got a few of those throws in me left. And I was like, everyone – and social media kills Chris Collinsworth every game.
Yeah.
But last night felt like a lot. It was almost like – and then Tirico had to counter it with like, yeah, but it's 9 penalties to 2 in favor of the Chiefs. So you could say the refs are having a rough night and it's not helping the Chiefs out, but they had 2 penalties and the Texans have 9. So
Right.
he was like trying to bail him. It was super weird, and it's crazy to watch those games with him calling it because he does love Patrick Mahomes so much. So does Rusty Keys. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We've got more to go. We've got a Sucks to Be You. You can hear from Notre Dame's athletic director, Pete Bevacqua. It's nice enough for Pete to drop in and send a line on how things are going in that Notre Dame
He said
athletic
some
department.
things today.
I can't wait.
He might regret.
Let's listen to it next right here, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.
Basking in the sports misfortune of others to help make you feel just a little bit better about yourself. As JJ and Alex present,
Yes, we got beat. We got beat badly.
It Sucks to Be You.
All right, everybody, welcome back. JJ and Alex, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone. We're going to chat with either Cam Watson or Corey Watson, one of the Watsons here at John Watson Chevrolet in just a couple of minutes. Before we do, yes, you know the music. Sucks to be you. Hey, every day, by the way. No, it doesn't suck to be you, JJ. It doesn't suck to be Brant.
I mean,
Brant,
sometimes it sucks to be me.
Brant this weekend, he got towed.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
we got towed. So it sucked.
I'm sorry.
You know what? Let's give an official. It sucked to be Brant when he got towed. Okay,
Womp womp.
he made it. He made the list this week. But I think he has a lot less to beef about
Hey, at least you're not Notre Dame.
than the Notre Dame athletic director, Pete Bavacqua, who I think is that an aftershave, Bavacqua?
No, that's the spray.
Okay.
The breath spray,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
What is that called?
I think my dad used to get
Bavacqua?
that. No, it's Banaka.
Banaka. Okay, I got confused.
But Aquavelva was the blue stuff that my grandpa
Are you
would
an
wear.
Aquavelva man?
Bavacqua.
I'm old enough to remember that.
Pete Bavacqua Velva.
Do you want to be an Aquavelva man these days?
There's no way they still make it. There's no way. Hey, Alex Napolis, give us a confirmation whether or not they still make Aquavelva or not. All right. Pete Bavacqua, the athletic director for Notre Dame, after being snubbed by the playoff committee, moving down the order and not being allowed into the club. And, man, he wanted everybody to hear it today.
Well, I would tell you, I mean, again, I have tremendous respect for Miami. You know, great team, great school. Their athletic director, Dan Radakovich, is a good friend. And all the teams in the ACC, great, wonderful universities. We have no gripes about any of the schools in the ACC. But we were mystified by the actions of the conference to attack, their biggest really business partner in football and a member of their conference in 24 of our other sports. And I would tell you, Dan, I wouldn't be honest with you if I didn't say that they have certainly done permanent damage to the relationship between the conference and Notre Dame. Just we didn't appreciate the fact that we were singled out repeatedly and compared to Miami. Not by Miami. Miami has every right to do that. But it raised a lot of eyebrows here that the conference was taking shots at us. And, that's just not something we chose to do. We wouldn't choose to do that in the future, and people might disagree with us, but that's just not something that we'd be comfortable with. And again, we have no problem with any of these teams. These are all great teams. You look at those teams, Miami, like I said, great season. They beat us. You think about Alabama, nobody's had more success in college football over the last decade than Alabama. But Dan, you follow this sport so closely. Everybody was saying that we were one of a handful of teams that could win this whole thing. Yeah. And now we have 0% chance. Even Nick Saban, nobody knows more about college football maybe in the history of the world than Nick Saban. And he said it yesterday, like, how is Notre Dame not in this? I mean, everybody is just kind of confused and perplexed. And we don't have good answers for the kids on our team, for our student athletes.
Did you notice he didn't mention BYU among those teams? He wasn't willing to play BYU in a Pop-Tarts Bowl?
He will never mention BYU because they hate BYU. They do not want to play BYU ever again.
What is
I don't know.
The deal?
I don't know, and maybe some of that stuff. I mean, look, they played in 12 and 13 there at South Bend, and then famously the return trip that Notre Dame had promised got bagged, and instead they said, let's do a neutral site thing. I told you about this. They do the thing where they go, we're not doing road games. We'll do a million home games.
3 true road games every year.
They'll play 2 or 3 road games, and then the rest are neutral site, Shamrock Series, whatever. But Notre Dame is, when they have these actions to not accept the bowl bid, like, that's their prerogative. That's fine. They don't answer to a conference. They don't have to pay a fine to a conference. But don't pretend. I think the reality is that if they played BYU or somebody else, they would always have the excuse of, well, we didn't care about that game. We've seen that before. Because I think they'd get their butts handed to them. I think if BYU played them, BYU would show up massively. Now, is the talent there from Notre Dame? Absolutely, sure. They're better talent than I think a lot of the teams that BYU face this year. However, it would be a great even match, but Notre Dame doesn't want even match. They don't want an even match.
Jeremiah Love doesn't get to play another game for him.
Yeah, that's a weird decision because they obviously didn't. I wonder what Marcus Freeman thinks about this. Like, I would love to think.
I can't imagine.
I would love to know what he thinks about it.
You think that their coaches and players were united on that front?
These are chancellors, presidents, board members, and the athletic director. It's all administrative.
An organization acting like a spoiled child that didn't get what he wanted, so he ran away.
I bet there's some players who are like, dude, I don't want to play in freaking the Pop-Tarts Bowl because
they had it's a great bowl.
But they had expectations. But that's fine. But
it would have been the highest-rated non-playoff game of the postseason.
By the way, they would get about a $7 million payout. BYU's going to get the Big 12 a $7 million payout for that bowl game. And Notre Dame is like, We don't care. Money doesn't matter to us. Being better than everybody else, in theory, is more important to them. You know what I mean?
But it's almost every year, always in theory. Last year was an exception. They were the second best team in the country.
Yeah.
It's almost always in theory with that group.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's irritating, and I think the rest of the college football world's kind of tired of it.
We'll be back around the corner. We got more to go. Stay with us. 97.5 The KSL Sports Zone.